Alrighty, I'm here at Extreme Connect with
Ed Kohler.
And Ed, I've been told that you've had your hands involved in the making of something pretty cool. So for those who don't know, what is Extreme Fabric?
Extreme Fabric is a networking technology that's designed to replace what we term today as IP routed infrastructures. IP routing, most people realize that it happens in boxes. These boxes route between different subnets to establish a network topology, all based on IP. And that's something that we've accepted in the industry, and it works quite well. However, with the Fabric, what we've done is we've established a technology which can establish the topology and path behaviors at the Ethernet level, not the IP level. What happens is IP becomes virtualized as a service within the network. So there is no topology with
just
IP.
Kind of plug it in, it sort of works.
Think of the value from a security perspective, okay? Because now I have a network that's dark. I can't map the end-to-end paths, and that's one of the things that most attackers are going to want to do, is they're going to want to enumerate your network and understand it. That way they can move around your network comparatively hidden, under the covers. They want to stay undiscovered. Well, if you create a dark network, you force the attackers to make noise. They have to make noise because they have to discover.
That kind of prevents some of that lateral movement.
Correct.
It makes it very hard to detect what's going where. So
the other point, though, is that when you look at the way we preserve the path infrastructure within the Fabric, it's based on something called MAC and MAC encapsulation, which is actually a strict tunneling method. So these segments are equivalent to air gap networks, okay? So if I have a single segment and another segment in the same switch and they're parallel to one another, they can't see one another. They are ships in the night. So think about that now. You have a network infrastructure and you have parallel service infrastructures that are dark, they can't be discovered, and they can't be accessed through normal traversal methods that attackers would use.
So security is almost the foundation of the Fabric.
It's a big foundation, but when you think about it, because we don't have to play with a lot of routing engines, and we don't have to play with a lot of routes, it becomes immensely easier to deploy. And with AutoSense and some of the later features that we've extended, we can actually start a Fabric. Well, our CEO says we can initiate and install a Fabric within 6 minutes. And you heard our CTO today saying that we're getting it down to 6 seconds. That's amazing when you think about a network technology that can deploy itself that quickly and do it really in a comparative error-free state. And this gets to that notion of a golden config, because once you have a golden config, then everything else you do in the network Fabric becomes a runtime phenomena of the Fabric itself. Okay, that gives you consistency of the images, and it gives you a consistency in the way you deploy the Fabric across the network.
One of the cool things that when I was first starting to learn and understand it, that I thought was adding nodes is not, there's no more spanning tree, right? There's no more complexities of that nature. It just, the Fabric builds itself, and it actually improves the Fabric having multiple paths in the whole, we now have the A VLAN and the B VLAN. So we're also not only, separating, segmenting, securing Fabric, but we're also improving the actual routing inefficiencies that traditional IP networks might have.
And through capacity as well. The other thing you have to realize is typically when you want to dual home an IP-based routing infrastructure, think about the level of pain that you have to do with it.
You get a lot of underlays.
Policies, preventing routing loops. All of that goes away with the Fabric. And we just do all of the balancing. So actually, the more paths you have in a Fabric architecture, the better the utilization of the network infrastructure.
And that's awesome. That's one of the reasons when I started first learning Fabric, I immediately thought, this I think is the future. Like it's not a different way to do traditional IP networking. It just is no longer having to do traditional IP networking. So
there's also, when you look at automation, when you look at automating things, you have a number of choices. You can do Ansible, and you can do all of the Python scripting and all of that against IP fabrics and MPLS infrastructures and IP routing. You can do all of that. But the point is that with the fabric, we do something called implicit automation. The automation is embedded directly into the fabric behavior. That means that we have an automated fabric architecture, but when you have something that's optimized for automation, it becomes a lot easier to leverage northbound infrastructures such as Platform One and artificial intelligence.
That's awesome.
Now we can enhance the fabric by AI because the lower level has been enhanced with automation features and with a stronger platform for fabric underneath, it becomes easier to leverage automation on the northbound side. And that's the direction we're heading in.
That's awesome. And if you had one thing in fabric in your realm that you're looking forward to in the upcoming releases that you can tell us, what would be something that you're most excited for in the next coming years for fabric and maybe Extreme at large? Anything, that we'd be interested in?
Well, we're introducing a new feature called segmented virtual route forwarding. That basically is a feature which allows us to reduce the number of VRF engines that are typically needed. And that is great for resource consolidation and also the deployment of IoT networks, which is very prevalent in the industry now. We need to get those devices safely separated in untrusted type of boundaries, and that's what the segmented VRF does. That's a great feature enhancement. Another thing that we're doing is we're introducing precision timing protocol into the fabric as well.
So a little bit more determinism.
For an audio video type of environment where you do need precision timing across the fabric core.
So that'll be huge. I mean, the AV sector is
absolutely. So that's another feature that we are very excited in. And then let's not stop with the hardware introduction of our hardened switches.
That's something I'm personally excited for. You guys know I love all the OT stuff and all the industrial controls, and I'm happy to see that they've announced, albeit a little bit away, but they've at least announced that there is actually fabric coming to the edge in those hardened environments.
And that marries well with the precision timing protocol environment. So, those are the ones that I think are coming out. In the future, what you'll see is a little bit more of a virtualization capability within the fabric. You'll see, further enhancement of services, things of that nature. You will see security, better enhancements. We do have an internal project where we're working on, quote unquote, a secure fabric architecture. And that is a project that is still code named, so I really can't talk about it publicly. So,
well, Ed, thank you so much for your time. I really appreciate you being able to, talk to us, and really looking forward to you and connect. Had a great time. So,
pleasure to meet you guys.
Thanks, Ed.
Take care.
Appreciate it.